For centuries, people have searched for a city that might never have existed, a place said to be built by gods, filled with gold, wisdom, and power beyond imagination. Some say it sank beneath the waves in a single day and night. Others believe it still lies hidden under the ocean, waiting to be discovered. But what if Atlantis wasn't just a myth? What if the clues have been in front of us all along, buried deep in history, waiting for someone to connect the dots? The story of Atlantis begins over 2,000 years ago with one man, the Greek philosopher Plato, around 360 BC. Plato wrote about a mysterious island nation that existed 9,000 years before his time. He described it as a land of unmatched wealth and beauty, filled with magnificent temples, shining palaces, and wide harbors. The people of Atlantis, according to Plato, were powerful, intelligent, and deeply advanced, far ahead of other civilizations of their time, but their pride became their downfall. In his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, Plato explained how the gods divided the world among themselves. The god Poseidon, ruler of the seas, was given Atlantis. There, he fell in love with a mortal woman named Clito and built her a home on a mountain surrounded by rings of water and land. From their union came 10 sons, who ruled the island's 10 regions. The first king, Atlas, gave the city its name, Atlantis, the island of Atlas. It was said that its capital glowed with red, white, and black stones, and that golden statues of Poseidon stood tall in the great temple at its center. Plato didn't just describe a city, he painted a vision of an entire empire. Atlantis, he said, stretched its power far beyond its island, conquering lands across Europe and Africa. Its navy was vast, its cities grand, and its people lived in comfort and strength. But over time, greed and corruption began to spread. The Atlanteans, once noble and wise, turned arrogant. They sought to dominate the world, challenging even Athens, the symbol of wisdom and virtue in Plato's world. Then came the punishment. In a single night and day of misfortune, massive earthquakes and floods swallowed the entire island. Atlantis vanished beneath the ocean, leaving behind only stories and mystery. Plato claimed this was not fiction, but a warning, a lesson about pride, greed, and the fall of great civilizations. For centuries, scholars debated whether Plato had invented the story as a moral tale or if it was based on real events passed down through ancient memory. Could it have been inspired by older stories of floods or destroyed kingdoms? Some thought it might reflect the eruption of the island of modern Santorini, which destroyed the Minoan civilization centuries before Plato's time. Others suggested it was simply an allegory, a philosophical metaphor to show that even the greatest societies could collapse when they lost their virtue. Still, the mystery grew. The legend of Atlantis captured imaginations across the world. Explorers, scientists, and dreamers began to wonder if it wasn't just a story. Where did Atlantis truly lie? Was it buried under the sands of Egypt, hidden beneath the icy surface of Antarctica, or lost deep in the Atlantic Ocean where the waves still whisper its name? Atlantis had become more than a myth. It was now a global obsession, symbol of the eternal search for lost knowledge and forgotten glory. The hunt for Atlantis has become one of the greatest mysteries in human history. For more than 2,000 years, explorers, scientists, and dreamers have searched every corner of the earth and the oceans, hoping to find proof that Plato's tale was true. Yet with each discovery came more questions than answers. It all began with the belief that Plato's story was not just philosophy, but a record of a real place. Early thinkers like Posidonius and Proclus believed Atlantis existed somewhere beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. They imagined a massive island in the Atlantic Ocean, a civilization that vanished beneath the waves after a cataclysm. Sailors in ancient times often spoke of strange lights and shadows beneath the sea, fueling rumors that the lost city still lingered below. During the Age of Exploration, as European ships ventured into the Atlantic, many began to link new lands with Atlantis. When Christopher Columbus crossed the ocean, some thought he might stumble upon its ruins. Later, the discovery of the Americas led others to wonder if Atlantis had been an early advanced civilization that once stood there, a bridge between the old world and the new. By the 19th century, the mystery of Atlantis had captured the modern imagination. In 1882, a man named Ignatius Donnelly, an American politician and writer, published a book called Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. He argued that Atlantis was the cradle of all ancient civilizations. influencing Egypt, Greece, and even the Americas. Donnelly believed that after Atlantis sank, its survivors spread knowledge, agriculture, and architecture around the world, planting the seeds of human progress. His ideas were bold, and though scientists doubted him, the public was fascinated. In the 20th century, technology gave the search new life. Sonar mapping, deep-sea dives, and satellite imaging began to explore the ocean floor like never before. 8. Each new expedition promised hope. In 1969, mysterious underwater structures were discovered near Bimini Island in the Bahamas. Known as the Bimini Road, these stone formations looked man-made, leading some to declare it the lost road to Atlantis. But scientists later suggested the stones were natural limestone formations, shaped by the sea over time. Still, hope never faded. Some researchers pointed to Santorini, where a volcanic eruption destroyed the Minoan civilization around 1600 BC, matching Plato's description of a powerful city. It's destroyed by the sea. Others claimed Spain's Donana National Park might hide the remains of Atlantis beneath its marshes. Even Antarctica has been proposed, with theories suggesting the continent was once warm and home to an ancient advanced people before it froze. No matter how many theories rise or fall, the legend refuses to die. It's not just about the search for a lost city, it's about the human desire to uncover truth. To believe that there was once a golden age where wisdom and technology existed long before recorded history. Each discovery, each expedition, keeps that spark alive. Whether buried under waves, sand, or ice, Atlantis continues to call to those who dare to dream. And the deeper we dig into our planet's past, the more we realize sometimes myths hold fragments of truth. For centuries, the question remains unanswered. Where could Atlantis really be? Despite all the theories, the search for the lost city has led to more mystery and speculation than solid evidence. However, the theories about its possible locations span the globe. Reflecting the deep fascination people have with the idea of an ancient civilization lost to the sea, let us take a look at some of the most popular ideas about where Atlantis might have been. One of the most commonly proposed locations for Atlantis is the Mediterranean Sea, specifically the island of Santorini, part of the Greek archipelago. Santorini was once home to the Minoan civilization, which flourished around 1600 BC. This island was heavily affected by a massive volcanic eruption, one of the largest in recorded history. The eruption led to the collapse of the Minoan society and is thought to have triggered waves of destruction across the region. Similar to Plato's description of Atlantis being destroyed by a catastrophic event, the idea that Santorini could be Atlantis is supported by the fact that the island was technologically advanced for its time. With remarkable architecture, advanced plumbing, and evidence of trading across the ancient world, the destruction of the Minoan civilization fits well with Plato's narrative of an island city destroyed in a single day. However, there is one major flaw in this theory. Plato's Atlantis was far larger and more powerful than the Minoan civilization, and Santorini doesn't seem to match the scale or grandeur described in his dialogues. Another intriguing theory places Atlantis somewhere near the Azores Islands, an archipelago located in the Atlantic Ocean, about 1,000 miles west of Portugal. Some researchers believe that the Azores could have once been a larger landmass that sank into the sea after a geological disaster. This theory is based on the idea that the Azores have geological features that could indicate the remnants of an ancient civilization. And many maps from the 16th century show a landmass near the Azores that no longer exists today. Proponents of this theory argue that ancient explorers might have charted Atlantis as an island far beyond the reaches of the Mediterranean. It's located in the unexplored waters of the Atlantic. Critics, however, point out that there is no archaeological evidence of any lost civilizations in the Azores, and the islands themselves are made up of volcanic rock, which is not typically associated with the advanced cities described by Plato. In recent years, interest has grown in the possibility that Atlantis may lie off the coast of Cuba, specifically beneath the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. In 2001, researchers discovered what appeared to be large, man-made structures beneath the sea near Cuba's coastline. The discovery of these submerged structures, which some believe resemble a city, has fueled speculation that Cuba may be the site of Atlantis. The structures are large, flat, and made of stone, which would fit Plato's description of the city's architecture. Additionally, the Bimini Road in the Bahamas, which is a submerged formation of large stones, has been widely discussed as a possible remnant of Atlantis. Though scientists largely agree that the Bimini Road is a natural formation, many enthusiasts believe it could be part of an ancient city submerged under the sea. These sites, along with other discoveries in the Caribbean, have sparked debates about the possibility that Atlantis may lie deep beneath the ocean in this region. However, much like the other theories, there is no concrete evidence to support these claims. Perhaps the most outlandish theory of all is that Atlantis lies buried beneath the icy wasteland of Antarctica, according to some speculative theories. Ancient civilizations once flourished in Antarctica before the continent was frozen over. Some even suggest that Atlantis was located in this ancient, lush world and that, over time, the shift in the Earth's axis caused the land to move south, resulting in the freezing of what was once a temperate, thriving civilization. The theory gained traction in the 20th century with the discovery of ancient structures in Antarctica, some of which appear to be pyramidal in shape. Skeptics dismiss this idea, citing the lack of archaeological evidence and the impossibility of a civilization thriving in such a harsh, inhospitable environment. Nonetheless, for some, the idea of a lost civilization hidden beneath ice and snow remains an intriguing possibility. Another well-known theory places Atlantis somewhere beyond the Strait of Gibraltar, which Plato referred to as the Pillars of Hercules. This is the narrow stretch of water that separates Europe and Africa, leading into the vast Atlantic Ocean. According to this theory, Atlantis would have been located in the middle of the Atlantic, but outside the Mediterranean world. The theory suggests that an island civilization, possibly near the Azores or somewhere off the coast of Morocco, could have been Atlantis. In fact, some maps from ancient times do show a large landmass where Atlantis might have been. Although these maps are often interpreted in different ways, for many, this theory is appealing because it places Atlantis near the intersection of known ancient civilizations. And a powerful island in this area could have influenced Europe, Africa, and even the Americas. The search for Atlantis continues, and while many of these theories remain speculative, they all share one thing in common: fascination with discovering a long-lost civilization that might hold the keys to ancient knowledge, power, and wisdom. Whether buried in the Mediterranean, beneath the waves of the Caribbean, or hidden under the ice of Antarctica, Atlantis remains an enduring symbol of human curiosity and the quest for the unknown.